Okay, so now let's have a look at the operating system for the MacBook. It's called OS X, and this particular one is called Mavericks. Early in 2015, your operating system will upgrade to one called Yosemite. So at the moment, it'll look very similar to what I've got here. So looking at the operating system, and the environment for a lot of people will be quite different to what they're used to, especially if they're used to using Windows. So let's have a look at a couple of the key differences and key features. So we've got our desktop, which is like any other desktop, just a space to put all your stuff. Then down the bottom we have what's called the dock. And the dock is just a place where you put all your most commonly used stuff. It helps to keep your desktop kind of free of icons and things like that, and organizes it down the bottom there. In the dock you can reorder things and move them around, and you can even get rid of things too by lifting them up, and you'll see them disappear. Now I can get that back later on, and we'll work out how to do that in another video. But for now, that's just the place where things are kept, and it's important to note that they are just shortcuts. That's not actually the program. So that little program that I just deleted is not deleting the program, it's just deleting the icon that opens it. So we can always get them back. Now let's have a look at the top here. This is just the main toolbar. An important thing to note is that it always tells you what program is currently active on your screen. So at the moment I'm using QuickTime Player to create this screencast. But if I was to click on the desktop, you'll see it switches back to Finder. And Finder is the little program that runs on here, a bit like Windows Explorer, that helps you find things on your computer. So you'll always have your little Apple symbol there, which will have your shutdown and other options. And then whatever the name of the program is will be right here, and that gives you some options and preferences that you can go into there. And then whatever the toolbars are for that particular program. So I can make a new folder in here, I can edit and copy and paste things there, I can change my view, etc, etc. So all of those things are in there. The help is actually kind of useful, it's quite helpful. Just search in there what you'd like to do. So for example, in here, if I'd like to know how to copy, it will actually point to where I can do that, just like that. So more times than not, it will actually help. On the right hand side are some system kind of things. Starting over here, there's some notifications. If I click that, it will tell me my emails, my calendar, things that are happening today. Once they're set up, you'll see those things appear in there. This is called a spotlight, and that's a search. So anywhere on my computer, I can search for something. So let's say I'm looking for the program iMovie. I type in iMovie, and there it is. I can click that, and it will take me to that location. So that's kind of handy if you're looking for a file or a program or an email or anything. It'll search the entire environment for that. Then you've got your time. If I click that, there are some options there as well. Then I've got my power. At the moment, I've got it set just to show the little icon. But if I click the icon, it tells me I've got 2 hours and 46 minutes remaining. And it also tells me which apps are using the most energy. So QuickTime Player at the moment is using a bit of energy, but it's pretty much the only thing I've got open. I can click Show Percentage, and it'll also, next to the icon now, show me that I have 53% battery left. Next to that is the volume, and that's the volume, master volume of the computer for the speaker, so I can turn that up or down. Then is the Wi-Fi symbol. Now at the moment I'm connected to the school guest network here. All of your machines have been set to connect to the school guest network if you happen to be here on the holidays. At home, all you need to do is click that little Wi-Fi icon. Your home network will appear here. You click it and enter your password for your network. Once you've done that, it will remember that each time you come into that network. So that's how you connect up to your Wi-Fi at home, or Macca's or Coffee Club or any of those places that offer free Wi-Fi. Next is your Bluetooth. You won't need to worry about that too much, but that's the Bluetooth symbol there. Time Machine is a backup system, and you'll need a hard drive to do that. I'll talk about that in another video. Then you've got AirPlay. Now, AirPlay will only appear there if you have a device to AirPlay to. So if you have an Apple TV at home, when you click that, you'll be able to choose your Apple TV, and it will send everything that's on your display up to that there. Now, you probably won't see this one. That's me recording here, so that's a little record symbol that's telling me that I am recording. So that's a basic outline of that top toolbar. Now, let's have a look at Finder. It's a pretty important part of navigating your way around the operating system. So you'll see this little guy here. It always tells you what you're clicking on. If you hover, it'll tell you what it is. So down in the bottom left, I got the little Finder guy. I click him, and up comes a little window like you would be used to seeing in the Windows environment. So inside Finder, I've got things like my AirDrop desktop. So that's everything that's on my desktop there. I've got documents that I've created and downloads. That all comes from the internet, so anything that I've downloaded will be in that folder there. Again, like in the dock, I can move things around if I want to into a particular order that I like. Under devices, that's where I'll see things like my USB or a hard drive that I've plugged in. And I've also got other machines that are nearby me at the moment. Tags, we won't worry too much about that, but that's a new thing where you can tag things a certain color so that it groups them together. Say all maths things might be red, all English things might be orange. You can tag things. We'll talk about that another time. So down through Finder here is where I can see all of my different places. So if I want to find a video that I made, I click on my desktop, and if I want to create a new folder on my desktop, I can click on this little gear here, drop that down and press New Folder. It's blue on the name here because it means that I can instantly type it in. You can also see that it's appeared on my desktop. But if I type in new stuff and press return, now it's called new stuff, so I can make a folder. If I double click that folder, I'm now inside that folder, and I can tell because at the top of my window here it tells me I'm in the new stuff folder, and I can again make another folder inside that called really new stuff. Press return, and now I've got a folder in there. I can also change the way that my screen, my Finder lays out all of the items. So at the moment I'm in icon view, and now I can go to a list, and I can drop down these little arrows here. Actually, if I go back a step, see the little back arrow here? If I go to list, it lists everything on my desktop, plus the little triangles show me that there's something else inside there, and there you can see that folder that I put inside there is there. I can also go to, this is like a preview layout, where if I click on something, it brings up the next thing that's inside that folder, and so on and so on. And then I've got this like a corral where if I go back and go to that view there, now I can kind of click through, and it sort of rotates around there like that. That's up to you which one you like. I can order the way that things appear by name, by the date that they were opened, that kind of thing. And there's some share options there, I can email things out, and this will be my tags that I mentioned before with the colors. So my personal preference is this third one, like that, because I can see what they look like. I get a little preview of what each thing looks like over here, which is handy. I can actually press the play button there, and it'll actually play it for me, which is handy too, so I don't have to open anything to have a look. So that's Finder. The only other thing I wanted to show you in this video was the Launchpad, little rocket ship down here, and that will bring up all of the things, all of the programs that you have on your machine. So you'll notice down the bottom here, I don't have iMovie in my dock, but if I wanted to get iMovie in my dock, all I do is bring that down there, drag it down to the bottom, make some space, and then let it go. Now iMovie is in my dock. Now before I deleted iBooks out, so I can grab that again and put it back in here, and that's it. So if you can't find a program, have a look in your Launchpad and see if you can see it in there. Then the other thing that is probably important at this stage is if you plug in a USB, for example, into your machine, then you'll need to know how to eject it. So all you need to do is plug in a USB, and you'll see it appear on the desktop here. So I'll put my USB in. We should see it appear on the screen. There it is, Matt's USB. Now I can double click that and open up, and I'll see all different things that are in there just using Finder. But let's say I'm finished with it. I should not take the USB or a hard drive or pretty much any kind of drive out of the USB without ejecting it first. So the easiest way to eject it is to grab the icon and drag it down to what is normally the trash. So if I have a look, see my little trash down here. As soon as I grab a drive, you'll see like a little eject icon. Click it down to there, just drag it and drop it, and now you can see that that icon is gone, and I can safely remove my USB. So the trash can, or what you might call the recycle bin in Windows, if I click that, I can see all the things that I've got in my trash. I can also click empty, and that will empty everything. The other thing I can do is I can right click on the trash. Sorry, try that again. I can right click on the trash and just press empty trash, and it'll ask me if I'm sure, and you'll hear a little rustle, and that's the bin is now empty. So the trash has been emptied, and all of those things are now permanently removed. That should get you up and running with the main OS X Mavericks environment, and we'll have a look at some of the system preferences or settings in the next video.